Hey everybody, I'm Jamie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if this isn't your first time. If it is your first time, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can see what I have coming up next. Normally I love to do fashion related videos, subscription unboxings, clothing hauls and try-ons, outfit of the day, and a little bit of lifestyle stuff in between. But today we are talking about yard sales. All right, I will be the first to admit that I normally hate yard sales. They're one of my least favorite things to plan, to execute, and to clean up after. However, it needed to be done. We needed to have a yard sale, and badly. We were just accumulating so many things. If you're anything like me, you just maybe can't resist that temptation once in a while. You just buy things you know you shouldn't, and then they end up in your house, and at some point they need to go. Combine that with the fact that I have kids and they have outgrown a lot of their toys, and you just know we had a lot of stuff to get rid of. So we figured having a yard sale would be the best way to do it. We've taken numerous trips to donate things, and we just wanted to try to get rid of everything in one fell swoop. So I've included a quick little video here to show you kind of the general idea of what we had in our mudroom. If you're not from New England and are kind of unfamiliar with what a mudroom is, it's basically exactly what it sounds like. We have a dirt driveway when we come into our house. We don't want to tromp it through our kitchen or living room or whatever room we're coming into first. So we have a mudroom in between. It's an entryway. It's a place we can take off our shoes and coats and boots and not get that mess all over our nice floors in our kitchen. So our mudroom had become a collection area for all of the stuff we were gathering for our yard sale. So I'm going to insert a quick video here so you can see what we had. So because we have my in-laws living right here next door, we thought it would be a good idea to have kind of a multi-family yard sale. So our stuff is all kind of all over the place, but these are some of the things that we are selling, like this old chair, which I love, but don't need. I have two others. We have some games down here, an exercise ball, some decor stuff, this mercantile sign that I think I got at Hobby Lobby, some plant pots, some things I got at Michael's, Christmas decor that I don't really use, some more plant pots. I am actually going to be selling some plants as well, some live plants. So like this guy is just gigantic and there's just not a lot of room for him in our house. So a couple of others as well are going to be going. Some are staying, but some are going. So a couple of those plants, and then my in-laws have some things over here, some baskets and some more decor things, some sports things that my son wanted to sell, more Christmas stuff, and then I have some old stools that I bought that I really love, but they don't have a purpose in my house. And then all of these plants are going to be sold as well. So in this video, I want to share some tips with you about how we did our yard sale, what we sold and what we didn't, how much we made, and just sort of some general information on what worked and what did not work. My first tip on having a successful yard sale is to hold it at a time when your town is also holding some kind of event. We decided to hold our yard sale on the day we were having a pretty big townwide event, and I think it really brought in numbers of people. We actually happened to live on the parade route, so as the parade was going by in the morning, people were looking at our lawn and the stuff on it and pointing and saying, "I'll be back, I want that, I'll be back." So I really think it helps to have a yard sale on a day when maybe more people than normal will be in your town. Types of events that would work for this would be obviously a townwide yard sale, maybe a block party. Around our area, we have something called Old Home Day, when everybody kind of comes back to their town to meet up with friends they haven't seen in a long time. But really, any kind of event would work out great for this. The one downside to that is that you don't get to spend as much time at the actual event because you're at your house selling stuff. Tip number 2 for this, and I think this is a really important one, is to use your online publicity tools. I posted our yard sale on Facebook, but not on my personal page. I posted it on our town Facebook page. This really works because people are checking that all the time and seeing what's for sale, and they could see what we had to sell. I posted photos as well so that people could see what we had and what they might want to stop by for. Tip number 3 is make it look as pretty as you can. I know it's a lot of work. Yard sales are a crazy amount of work, but if you make it look a little bit aesthetically pleasing, I think it draws more people in. So I was selling a lot of plants in this yard sale. I had just accumulated so many plants and I had about 120 or so. I think I sold about 50 in this yard sale. I just put them up on nice ladders and little displays that we've used for craft fairs, and I think that those helped draw people in, and then they saw other things that they wanted to buy as well. Tip number 4 is a really big one that we kind of learned through this process. Our original thought was that we would just have people make an offer on things that they wanted to buy. Turns out people don't like to make offers. They really want you to tell them a price and then they'll haggle you on it. Or they'll say, okay, that seems like a reasonable price. So we learned that as we kind of went on. We started out saying, make an offer, and it worked out well for the beginning, but after that, people just decided they did not want to make offers. They wanted to be told a price. So have an idea in mind of a price you want someone to pay for something. Most of the items that we sold in the yard sale were somewhere between $1 and $5 because, they're mostly little things and you're not wanting a huge amount of money for them. But those bigger things, we sold a bed frame, we sold a couple of bikes. Those bigger things have a little price in mind so that you can kind of know where you want to start and where you're willing to go down to. I will say though, it's not necessary to put price stickers on everything. People will ask you what you want for something. Tip number 5 is to have an end time. We picked around 3 o'clock as our end time. People asked earlier in the day if we were going to be here later, and we told them we'd be closing things up between 3 and 4. And so we decided at 3 o'clock we'd had enough. It was a hot day that day. It was about 85, 88 degrees, and we were just all hot and tired. So around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we decided this is it. We are going to just tell everybody everything is free. I can't tell you how many people at that point pulled up and just grabbed boxes full of stuff, which was great. We wanted to get rid of it. Our whole plan, if everything didn't sell, was to donate it. So to have everybody come get things from us instead of us having to drive it somewhere was amazing and wonderful. By that point in the day, we had sold, I would say, about 3/4 of our stuff. So we gave away about 1/4 of it. What we had left at the end of the day was almost nothing. And then by the end of that day, that area was completely empty too. We really got rid of everything that we had put out for our yard sale. Tip number 6 is optional, but it really worked out well for us. We had bags available. We put out bags for anybody who might want to take a bunch of stuff and wanted a place to carry it in. And it ended up working out really well because people would have, piles of stuff in their arms, and it would give them a place to hold things. We do grocery pickup, so our grocery bags are all paper. So we just saved them for a few months and used those as our carry bags. It was really easy, really convenient, and totally free. So what did we sell in this yard sale? I would say I put out about 50 houseplants, probably. I ended up selling all but 6, and those 6 were giveaways at the end. We sold a bed frame. We sold 2 bikes. Actually, we gave away 1 bike. My husband has a very soft heart. I just love that about him. And there was a family that wanted a bike very badly for their little boy. And he thought that probably they couldn't afford a nice bike for him. So he gave it to them. And it was just so sweet of him. I love that man so much. But we sold another bike that was definitely a very expensive bike when we bought it. We sold some power tools. We sold lots of dishes, lots of decor items, some of the kids' toys from when they were younger, some of my son's sporting equipment from sports he doesn't play anymore, or, he has better versions of the item. For instance, he has about 8 bats, so he still has 3 or 4, but he sold another 3 or 4. We also found that vintage pieces were very popular. So I had one of those step stool chairs that was gone very quickly. A mini trampoline that was gone very quickly. The bed frame was the very first thing to go. So there were some bigger furniture pieces that people were happy to take off of our hands for much less than they would find them in stores. So the few things that didn't sell in our yard sale, we ended up putting out by the side of the road. We put up the free sign on the tree by the street, and people just came and grabbed whatever they wanted. So by the end of the day, we had 1 table worth of things, and then by the end of that night, all of those things were gone. So what did we make in this yard sale? Overall, we ended up profiting about $800 in this yard sale, maybe about $810 or so. That was just my husband and me. My in-laws profited another $700 or so, which combined ended up being about $1,500. Not too bad for a day's work. My husband said, that's a great profit. I reminded him that we spent a lot more on those items, but you have yard sales to get rid of things. And if you can make some money on them to put towards something you really want to do, then that's great. We felt like the most important lessons we learned from this yard sale were, 1, make sure to kind of price things. Don't make people make an offer. They do not like doing that. They don't like putting a value on your stuff. They don't want to make you feel bad. They don't want to hurt your feelings if you spent more or if you think your things are worth more than they do. Don't put people in that position. That was a really important lesson that we learned. The other lesson that we learned is really think before you buy. I've been much better about this in the last few years, but really think before you buy something, am I even going to want this in a few years, or is it going to go on a yard sale for a couple of dollars when I'm spending $20 to buy it right now. All right, guys, that is it. That's all my tips for how to have a really successful yard sale. I am so happy with the way ours went. I hope if you're in the planning stages of doing the same thing that this video helped you a little bit. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.